guys. Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. Welcome to an early morning walkabout. It's 6:30 in the morning. What a cool and refreshing morning. I decided I'm gonna come out now because it is hot. It is hot. It is Friday morning. This video is going up in a few. When you're watching this video, I just recorded it this morning and edited it and uploaded it. So 6:30 in the morning, it's gonna go up online in a couple of hours. We're gonna talk about marriage today. We're gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna talk about my personal opinions as to why am I single? Why have I been single for 20 years? Coming up on 20 years. Join me, why don't you, right after this. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy. I am a retired, semi-retired Canadian Sri Lankan, living in Sri Lanka with my senior parents, working online. Thanks for joining. If you are new to the channel, I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Please do me a favor. The same thing everybody asks you, like, subscribe, comment if you really like what I'm doing, or you have questions, or you have an opinion. Please comment, let me know what you think, and I'll answer everybody because my channel is still small, and because I'm monetized, anything that you do or interact with me helps the channel grow. So I truly appreciate that. And if you're a subscriber and you like what I'm doing, sponsor me. Click the link and buy me a coconut. Welcome to today's story, marriage. My personal opinions, okay? Please, I know, Derek, you're going to tell me I'm wrong, but that's true. I am wrong most of the time. But I'm not here to give advice or tell you what is right or what is wrong. I'm here, in a lot of my videos, I'm here to tell you what I have experienced, so you can gauge what is right and what is wrong from other people's personal experience. Is that fair? I hope it is. So join me, why don't you? I am 56 years old. I got divorced when I was 37-ish, 38. I had been with my ex-wife for about 10 years, 9 years, from the time we started dating till the time we divorced. It was an amicable separation. I was not happy with my life. She was not happy with the relationship. She was a lot younger than me, 11 years younger than me. I had met her when I was about 29, 30, and then we started dating when I was about 31, 32. We had a great life together, but, and here comes into the story. Let me tell you the story and then let me tell you the regrets. So basically what happened is, it was circumstances. Good morning. It was circumstances. So we were dating and then I was working. I had a career. She was still finishing up university. And just as she finished university, I got promoted. Huge promotion. Like, wow, like 2 grades. Huge money. So we had to move. And to give you an idea, well, I'll just say it in Canada. So I lived in downtown Toronto. I lived harborfront, right by the CN Tower. She lived in Scarborough, which is about 45 minutes away, an hour away by subway. You had to change like twice, once, twice, 3 times. You had to change 3 subways to get to her house, and then a bus. So we had to move to the opposite end of the city, of the region. So she lived on the east end, I lived in central. We had to move to the west end, about another hour. So she's over an hour from home. So we decided to move to Milton, because I was working in Hamilton. So it's a good hour, hour and a half to get to her house. She's very close with her family. Me, I couldn't care less about mine. But I mean, I was still close to my family because they lived up north. They lived in Bradford. So we moved there. She got a job working for a home builder. And life was good. About 2 years later, 2 or 3 years later, I got promoted again, but I had to move back to the city. Now it turns out that she found a job through one of our neighbors, which was a company that was a 10-minute walk from our condo that we ended up buying. 1 streetcar, direct. So it was perfect. But my promotion did not pan out the way I wanted it to. It was a lot of admin, a lot of stress, and we were in the middle of the 2007 financial crisis. So yeah, you can figure out that in a sales environment, a financial crisis is not a good thing. So what ended up happening was I took an early buyout because I was not happy with my job. And I stayed unemployed for about 3 months because I didn't want to look for another job. I found another job with a startup company. And I enjoyed it. It was sales, business development. I liked it. It was aggressive and the pay was ridiculously good. And I got to travel. But as the economic crisis worsened, things did not pan out the way I wanted them to. And within a year, the stresses had taken its toll on our relationship. I quit my job, and she decided that, this was the point where she was not happy. So she asked for the divorce. I said, sure. Because I knew her at this point. I knew that if she had come to this decision, that she had been thinking about it for a long time. And for a long time, I wasn't happy. You're in a marriage because, you have to be. You don't want it to end because of the stigma or the financial cost and the whole drama behind it. But anyways, we ended up separating. It cost a lot of money to sell the house and the 2 cars. So there was a huge debt involved. And we stayed friends. And I, even going to visit her family, we were still friends. So another year or 2 after the divorce, maybe a year. Yeah, it was about a year. Because it takes a year to get divorced in Canada. You have to be separated for a year and then you file for divorce. So it was about a year and a bit. And I remember when the divorce was finalized, I was on vacation in Cuba. I was having some fun time with these 2 girls, and I get a text message from her over the Christmas holidays saying, oh, by the way, the divorce papers came through. And I'm like, oh, congrats on being divorced. And the girls were like, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, I'm legally divorced. And they're like, oh, wow. That was hilarious. I still remember that. Funny anecdote. Anyway, so after the divorce, I was like what am I gonna do? What job am I gonna get? You know, I was trying to figure my next step in my life. Long story short, that's how I ended up here. Okay? That's the long story short. Is after the divorce, this is how I ended up here. Basically, I was not happy with my life. I was not happy living in Canada. Wasn't happy with anything that was going on. So I decided, you know what? After speaking with a friend, I packed my bags and moved to Korea. And you know, the Korean story is a whole different adventure. You guys can look that up on some of the previous videos I've done. Hey guys, Sri Lankan Sammy, thanks for joining. I want to take a quick moment and talk to you about the channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to support the channel, clicking like, sharing, and commenting. But I need to ask you for a little bit of help and helping me get the channel up and running a little bit better. Please click the link down below if you want to support the channel and buy me a coconut. What I will do is I will match the dollars and I will go out and buy fresh fruit and vegetables from local farmers on the roadside. You guys have seen me do that before. I'll continue doing that by supporting the local economy. Passively, if you would like to, you can just watch a commercial. I am monetized, so if you watch an ad all the way through, a couple, that would really help the channel. And even more so, click the link of the ad and let it pop up on your computer. Leave it open for a few minutes. That would really help the channel passively. And one last thing, if you could please just put a comment, an emoji, one word saying hello, saying hi, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Vesak, Happy Poya, whatever it is, whenever it is, I truly appreciate it. Sri Lankan Sammy, loving you all. We'll see you all on the other side. So I ended up leaving Canada. I paid off all my debts. That ate up a lot of my savings. Paid off everything I owed, which was a joint debt. And we kind of figured, like, instead of paying alimony, that I would pay the debt, because paying her alimony and support just to be taxed and then pay off the debt, I said, you know, why spend X amount of dollars a year on taxes when we could put that towards the debt? And she goes, yeah, that's fine with me. So I ended up helping her get her place. You know, again, it was very amicable, very amicable. So we have a big Poya Day festival coming. So they're putting these arches here, which is very nice. As you can see, these arches. So Easter, they had all the strings with all the lights, and now they're doing the arches for the Poya Day. That's very beautiful. I wonder what it's going to look like. I'm going to be interested to see what it looks like. Anyway, the leaves of that tree, or branches of that tree, are bouncing around because there is something in that tree. Is it a monkey or a squirrel? And that's what you need to figure out. Anyway, so when I came to Korea, I was young, I was well off, I was a party guy. You know, after my divorce, I just fell back into the club lifestyle, which is what I know, right? So, you know, I didn't really get into a relationship. I got into a few relationships. I got into a few, I don't want to say short term, medium term. I'll call them medium term. But I was never one to like be in love at that point. And the reason behind that was because I knew, number one, I was never going to get married again. It just wasn't something I wanted to do. And the reason behind it is because I didn't want to invest another 10 years of my life, especially since I didn't know where I was going to be or what I was going to do. So I was actually looking out for, well, maybe I'm being stupid about it, but I didn't want to get involved with a woman and then have her commit her life and then figure out that I'm not going to be sticking around. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to cause drama. I think that's the main thing. I didn't want to cause drama. So, and I was kind of enjoying my lifestyle at that point. So, does that answer the question of why I never got married? I was having way too much fun. I think the next video I'm going to talk about, my life in Korea and just how incredible it was. Absolutely incredible. I was just talking to somebody today about it. Yeah, tune in for the next video on Monday and see that story. So anyway, it's been 20 years, and in those 20 years, since my divorce, I've had a few girlfriends. I mean, the longest one was maybe 6 months, but I was in a relationship for about a year with a girl from Kazakhstan, which really, woman, not girl, but she was spectacular. But that was purely, wow. I mean, she was going through her divorce. She lived there. She lived in Kazakhstan. I lived in Korea. She came once or twice a month for a week to Korea to do business. And we would hang out like 2 or 3 days every couple of weeks, which was perfect for me because I was working at the club. I was too busy. And actually, she was the first woman I ever went on vacation since my divorce. We went to Thailand together about eight years ago. But, she sold her business and moved to Italy. And, I knew that I was the rebound guy. But, I mean, that's another reason why I was single for so long, is I was working at the club. And how can I date when I'm working on weekends? Oh, do you want to go out? No, I can't. I'm working on Friday night, Saturday night. Well, what about the daytime? I'm sleeping. Because I work from, I have to start getting ready at like 6, 7, 8 p.m. And I work till, 4, 5 a.m. and I'm slightly intoxicated sometimes, so I need to sleep all day. And at that point, I'm 40, 42, 45, 48, right? Drinking, well, I could handle my alcohol back then, not now. Can't do it today. These days, I can't do it. But back then, and what kind of woman wants to go out with a guy who works at a club? And my social media at the time was all glamorizing the nightlife lifestyle. Although I was always a very good boy, because I didn't want a reputation. I had a persona. So what kind of girl would want to date someone like me, at that time? But I did date a little bit. Some amazing women. And I was very lucky to have the job I had, to have the money I had, to have the influence I had. So, yeah, for me, I am just lazy. I don't want to put in the time. And I've met some great people who have been married or are in relationships, and I'm proud of them because their relationships are great. But then I also know a whole bunch of people who had that and are now divorced, or have kids and are divorced. I am so glad I never had kids. I would have never been able to leave Canada had I had children. Would never. I wouldn't have regretted it, but I would have felt disappointed. So here, so just so you guys know, these are the kids going to school. So that all the kids have to wear uniforms to go to school. It's not just the religious schools. So this is like the daycare, and the kids get dropped off here in the morning and then are walked to school. And then after school, they come here. So I see, I'm not misogynistic, I'm not anything like that. I just look at, I'm very unemotional when it comes to things like this. And that's one of the reasons why my ex-wife divorced me, is that investing time into a relationship is a lot of work and a lot of effort. And I have gotten to the point, let me take a step back. When I left Canada, I had been dating, I had been clubbing, I've been having fun, fun when I was in Canada. I had a lot of fun after my divorce. And because at that time, I was still young looking, I had a lot of money, and I could, go out and have a fun time. And it wasn't that big of a deal for me. But then when I came to Korea, it just exploded, because here I am. Oh, you scared me. Yeah. Jesus, that scared me. When I came to Korea, again, I'm a youngish guy. I have no work. I have all this money and all this free time to go out and just explore. And then I met some people say the wrong people, some people say the right people, but I met great friends in the entertainment industry, so I was able to go out and party, VIP, exclusive places where a lot of foreigners couldn't go or weren't allowed to go. So I ended up having different opportunities in Korea. A lot of people say Korea is this or Korea is that, but I'm going to talk about that next time. Stay tuned for that. So to wrap this up, the reason I stayed single for so long, and I will continue to stay single, is because after 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I grew to love myself and love the skin I'm in. Okay? I enjoyed doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do without feeling guilty. Relationship is always about compromise. And I've learned I don't have to be happy. So I'm happy in my own life. And for someone to make me happier is gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a huge amount. And I don't think there's anyone, Lady Sarah's great, but no, oh, look at this. Very nice. I have to ask Mom why that's there like that. Even Lady Sarah, even though I love her a lot, I could not be in a relationship with her. There's lots of reasons behind it, but I'm not going to get into it. It's personal. Not my personal, her personal. But just suffice it to say that she's more stubborn than me, if that is possible. So that drives me insane. I've only been in one, I would say my first girlfriend, Beth, I mean, I'm 21 years old. We were young, we were immature, but we were in love, and we're still friends today. I mean, it's 40 years later, we're still friends. But, you know, my second relationship was my ex-wife, second real relationship, but she was so young, it was more like I'm teaching her everything. She was not independent because she went from her father's house to my house. I mean, I'd been already living alone for, you know, 10 years, 12 years when she came along. So for me to give up my independence, my freedom for a relationship where you have to compromise and you have to disagree and you have to have arguments, is not something I'm interested in. I haven't done that in so long that I don't want to. And I don't think I would know how to anymore, because honestly, I really haven't been in an adult relationship. Other than maybe my Kazakhstan girlfriend, who was probably one of the oldest women I've ever dated. She was 34 at the time I dated her. She was one of the oldest women I dated. I was 48 at the time. And she was wealthy, independent, intelligent, beautiful. She was probably the realest, she was the most adult relationship I ever had, but it wasn't a real relationship. It was more a convenient relationship. So, but anyway, to wrap up the story, I think the reality is that I'm damaged. I'm not the first. I won't be the first person to tell you that. I'll be the first one to admit to it. But the reality is that I think it's a combination of just me being happy the way I am and lazy to invest time and energy into learning how to be an adult. I mean, that's just the truth. A relationship is a lot of work. It's not easy. And it means, you know, really adult things that you have to be like emotional and intelligent, and I'm just not willing, I'm not interested. I just want to live life, have fun, and enjoy what little time I have left. Investing 10 years into something is just not interested in it right now. Probably never will be. That's the truth. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for joining me on this adventure. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. If you've been online watching this right till the end, thank you so much. Please click the like button, click the support button, and subscribe and comment. Please comment. That really helps the channel. We'll see you all on the other side.